One poor boy with nothing but hope dared to love the daughter of a man who owned everything. Their love bloomed in secret, under trees and whispered nights, until her father's shadow fell heavy over them. A check slid across a table, a trap was sprung, and a choice had to be made, money or love. The storm that followed tore through halls, mansions, and hearts alike, testing whether love could stand against power. And when the dust settled, nothing would ever be the same again. My love, they've taken me away, but I'm still with you. Don't believe the lies. Hold on. If love is real, it will find a way back. Zach pressed the paper to his chest, tears spilling down his face. For the first time in weeks, hope stirred. But hope doesn't pay tuition. Hope doesn't fight billionaires. And hope can't keep a poor boy in a rich man's world. So Zach packed his things, his one bag, his worn shoes, her letter tucked safe inside. He left Eastwood without saying goodbye, without looking back. Not as a boy running away, but as a man carrying a promise. He whispered her name as he boarded the bus. One day, Megan. One day. Years passed. The boy from the small town became a man with calloused hands and fire in his chest. He worked, he studied, he built. Brick by brick, day by day he rose. And Megan, trapped in her golden cage, never forgot. She carried his name in her heart like a secret flame. My love, they've taken me away, but I'm still with you. Don't believe the lies. Hold on. If love is real, it will find a way back. Zach pressed the paper to his chest, tears spilling down his face. For the first time in weeks, hope stirred. But hope doesn't pay tuition. Hope doesn't fight billionaires. And hope can't keep a poor boy in a rich man's world. So Zach packed his things, his one bag, his worn shoes, her letter tucked safe inside. He left Eastwood without saying goodbye, without looking back. Not as a boy running away, but as a man carrying a promise. He whispered her name as he boarded the bus. One day, Megan. One day. Years passed. The boy from the small town became a man with calloused hands and fire in his chest. He worked, he studied, he built. Brick by brick, day by day he rose. And Megan, trapped in her golden cage, never forgot. She carried his name in her heart like a secret flame. The hearing was a show, not a trial. Professors sat like judges. Students gathered like spectators. And Zach stood alone. They called him a thief, a cheat, a liar. Witnesses spoke lies. Evidence piled against him. And the weight of it all nearly crushed him. He tried to speak. He tried to fight. But his words fell flat, drowned out by the power standing against him. Then, like thunder in the silence, the doors flew open. Megan stormed in, hair wild, eyes blazing. "Stop this," she cried. The room froze. She held up her phone. Recordings of her father's men plotting, whispering, confessing. "This is all my father's doing. He framed him. He wants him destroyed." Gasps echoed through the room. The professors leaned forward, eyes wide. For a moment it felt like truth might finally win. But then two men in black suits entered, grabbed Megan by the arms and dragged her out. Her voice echoed down the hallway. "Zach, don't give up." The board, shaken, paused the case. But Zach knew. His name was already tainted, his scholarship gone, his place at Eastwood hanging by a thread. That night, he stood by the oak tree alone, the wind rustling like whispers of old stories. He closed his eyes and felt the weight of her words. Don't give up. And though the world felt dark, a small flame refused to die. Weeks passed like years. Zach was suspended, broken, almost forgotten. Megan was sent away, hidden in another city, far from his reach. Rumors said she'd been shipped off abroad. The oak trees stood lonely, their bench empty, their laughter gone. Then one night, as Zach sat alone in his dorm, a letter slid under his door. No name, no return address, just his name written in her hand. Henry chuckled, cold as ice. Then he slid another thing across the table, a check. A number so big it blurred in Zach's vision. Take this. Walk away. Never see her again. Megan gasped. Daddy. But Henry silenced her with a glance. Zach looked at the paper, thought of his mama, his daddy, their broken house, their tired lives. Just one signature and he could fix it all. But then he looked at Megan. At the way she was staring at him, pleading silently. Zach pushed the check back. "I'm not for sale." And Henry's smile turned to stone. "Then you've made your choice." The trap closed tighter. First, Zach's scholarship was suspended. Then, false reports of plagiarism surfaced. Professors whispered, classmates avoided him, and the board called him in for hearings. He fought, oh how he fought, but every door closed before he reached it. Megan tried to fight too, but her father chained her world tighter. Her allowance was cut, her phone locked away, her freedom clipped like a bird's wings. "He's dragging you down," her mother whispered. "Love doesn't pay bills. Love doesn't build empires." But Megan's eyes only burned brighter. "Love doesn't need to," she said. Zach, though, was breaking. Every day was heavier, every night darker. "They're destroying me," he whispered under the oak tree, his voice trembling. "Then we fight," Megan whispered back, clutching his hands. "Together." But the storm only grew meaner. Soon, Zach received the dreaded letter. A hearing before the board, with charges that could end in expulsion. Megan was locked in her room that night, her father's guards at the door. Zach stood outside the estate gates, staring up at her window, powerless. He wanted to climb, to scream, to smash through, but he knew it would only prove them right. So he stood there, with the night air cold against his skin, whispering her name like a prayer. "Megan." And though she couldn't hear him, she whispered his name too, into her pillow. "Zach." Now Henry Rivers was a man who wore power like a suit. His voice could stop a room, his money could move mountains, and his will was a hammer that never bent. When Megan told him about Zach, he didn't shout at first. No, he laughed, low and bitter, like thunder before a storm. "A boy with nothing," he said. "And he wants my daughter?" He leaned back in his big leather chair, tapping his glass of whiskey. "Sweetheart, he doesn't love you. He loves what you have." Megan shook her head. "You don't know him, Daddy. He's not like that." But Henry Rivers had lived too long, seen too much, trusted too little. He decided right then and there that if the boy wanted a war he would get. The very next day, whispers began. Whispers about Zach cheating on his exams, whispers about him stealing books from the library. His professors, once proud of him, now looked at him with suspicion. His scholarship advisor called him in for reviews that had never happened before. The walls of Eastwood, shiny and tall, suddenly started to press in on him. Megan saw it too. She begged her father to stop, but Henry only grew colder. "If he truly loves you," he said, "let him fight for you. Let him break first. Then you'll see." And Zach, poor Zach, he didn't even know the half of it yet. All he knew was the ground beneath him was shaking, and every step forward felt like sinking sand. Still, when Megan whispered, "Hold on to me," he promised he would. But promises are heavy things when a man like Henry Rivers is standing in the way. One evening,